day I was supposed to fly there. Wait, Thursday, I guess. I thought I would be like the only person who's ever bought a one wheel that didn't hurt himself on it. And that proved out to be very wrong. Do you guys know what a one wheel is? Yeah, they're dangerous. They're fun, but they're dangerous. I thought literally, is it far enough away from you guys? Can I take this off for just 1 second? Sorry. Please get vaccinated if you can, because I've been vaccinated so many times it hurts. I had a friend that went in and got his third vaccination before you were even able to go get one. He just went in and told CVS, like, I'm just going in for my first shot. And they went in and gave another one. So anyway, weird thing is like his body is attracted to like refrigerators and stuff because it's magnetic. It's crazy. But yeah, so I heard I had literally the slowest accident of all time. It wasn't even like an epic, like going 14 miles an hour or whatever, ripping around, like falling off of it. It was one of those just like, my daughter needed something, and if you don't get off the thing the right way, it'll just like pull one of your legs. And I did this really very like inelegant split. and I'm scared to go back and look at the camera that was like in the driveway because I just don't even want to see how embarrassing it looks. I'm the voice of All Might in a show called My Hero Academia. Have you guys heard of it? And I cannot believe that it's been this successful. Funimation every few years has a show where they're like, oh, this show is going to be real popular. People are going to really like this one. But I've never seen anything quite like this My Hero Academia thing. It is so nice because My Hero Academia fans are like the most diverse fans I've ever seen, like little kids and adults and everybody. Whereas like at Dragon Ball, it used to be little kids, but now they're all adults. They're all like way more fit than I am. They're like, I used to work out every day. I'm like, I wish I could be inspired. I decided to take a nap after working on that show. And so yeah, My Hero Academia fans are just so like, they're just sweet and everyone's nice. And I'm really grateful to be a part of such a cool show, especially to play such a great character at such a great time. I feel like, so I've done a few other roles in anime throughout my career, actually, believe it or not. I've been doing this a very long time. And a lot of people ask me, how do you get into the voice acting business? And I say, well, the easiest way is to just sort of show up and be the first person at a production company that's about to produce anime and be the first actor there. Like that's like find another Funimation and be their very first actor and just stick around for 20 years. So yeah, I started my career working on a show called Dragon Ball Z. Have you guys heard of that one? Yes. And it's still going. Yeah, and I thought it was going to be like this job I had for like a year or summer or something like that, and 20 years later, we're still doing it, and every time I think it's over, the show is standing there like any Dragon Ball villain, just kind of like, the smoke clears, it's still standing there, and still breathing. I'm still here. Like, oh God, here we go again. But yeah, after that show, I worked on a show that a lot of people watched, but everybody thought they were the only person watching it. It was a show that came on like late at night, and I think most of your parents didn't even know how violent and dark this show was. But it's a show called Yu Yu Hakusho. Have you guys watched it? He just sounds like dumb Vegeta. Vegeta's here. The Kumara is the same thing as that dumb. It's like Vegeta and Yamcha had a baby, sort of. Or Vegeta and Raccoon, maybe, because that's another voice I did. His name was Raccoon, and every time I voiced him, I made him sound dumber, and then finally someone said, it's almost offensive dumber, and then I had to make him a little smarter. But, yeah, I feel like all these shows, though, Zorro and One Piece, if you guys are familiar with that, like There weren't many great things that happened. Like the pandemic was not good for many things, but the only thing it might have done would give people enough time to actually watch that series. That was just a show. You're like, oh, this show called One Piece. I was like, cool. Like, it's got 800 episodes right now. Come on, just catch up. It'll only take you half a year. I remember there was a guy at Funimation, one of the marketing guys, that did this thing where he tried to marathon all of One Piece like in a row, and he legitimately couldn't finish. Like he went a few days and then just kind of had said, like, I can't do it anymore. I have to stop. Because he wasn't like he just stayed in the same room all night trying to watch it too. It was just too much for him. But I think if you do it, in a normal fashion, it's pretty cool. And the show's getting really good. I'm very excited about where One Piece is at the moment. And of course, clearly the dub is not where the manga is, but it's finally starting to go somewhere, which is cool. I can't remember if this was meant to be a My Hero Academia panel or not, but sorry. I'm All Might in that show. So I guess the whole point is that I feel all of these roles that I've had over the years, like Tsubasa and just all these other shows have really prepared me to be this character right now. Like I could not have gotten a character at a better time in my life. I've got 2 kids, a 6-year-old, a 10-year-old, and they're both girls and they're awesome. And like playing All Might at this moment in my life with all of this training, playing all of these other characters, and then having 2 daughters and thinking a lot about like passing on skills and how much like, the next generation means. Like it was just the perfect storm of things to happen. And so, unfortunately, I cry half the time I'm working on that show. Like every episode that you guys think is a little upsetting is really upsetting to me. So it's just like such a tearjerker. I could barely make it for like, those first 2 episodes. Right? They were just too much. But I'm very, very grateful. So, yeah, My Hero Academia, an awesome show. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good night. That's it. I think so. I could have you guys line up and ask questions, or I could just pretend that you guys are there and ask me questions and just answer the questions you would have asked me anyway. Like, if you could have any one quirk, what would it be? And I had a deal with Justin Briner, the guy you guys are familiar with him. He plays Deku. We had that when we were first like going to the Comic-Cons promoting the show when it first came out. We made a deal with each other, like we're always going to answer that question in a different way. Because we're going to probably get a lot. So let's see. For this weekend, it will be my quirk. I wish it could be that I could balance on any object, no matter what it is, and that would be my quirk. That I wouldn't have hurt hamstring. Let's see. Someone would be like, if you like, I was at a con a couple weeks ago, and like all the questions, like literally, they were all different people asking me, but all the questions were like super depressing. They're like, if you could kill one character in my life, that's horrible to think about. If there's a mother in here that I spoke to, I think yesterday. She was with her son, the coolest kid, young, probably like 7, maybe, just knew everything about My Hero Academia. It's almost like a little like Midoriya himself. And I was like, do you watch this show? Well, apparently he said, my mama calls this show My Kung Fu Academia because she doesn't like it. Like, have you ever watched it with them? Because it's a really good show. She goes, well, I watched a little bit, but every time I see that Mineta kid, I go, my son, we're better people than this. We're not this. And people were like, if you if like your character wasn't in the show, what would you think? I'm like, well, don't ask me questions like that. I don't want to hear that. And then people ask the ship question, which of course, whatever works for you guys is great. But I'm I don't like ship the characters, but I do have this fantasy that like, and this is not a ship by any means, is that all like Midoriya's dad is actually there. He's at home, and every time All Might comes over, the guy never comes out because he just watches TV in his room or something like that. So technically, Midoriya's dad's just like a sports junkie or something. He's like, "Is that stupid superhero guy you're still?" I mean, nobody leaves because he's super annoying. That's my fantasy. Either that, or if he doesn't exist, I hope that in the show someday, like, you know, All Might, Midoriya's mom date or something. That's my thought. He's of age, so that's good. The other ships get really weird. But actually, I probably should open this up to some questions. I have to warn you all, I don't read too far ahead in the manga because, I mean, I did when I first got the role because I wanted to know as much as possible going into it, but now I actually enjoy the surprise of what's to come. I did talk to someone today that like started hinting that there's something kind of foreboding in one of the future episodes of the manga, and I'm like, that's why I don't read it, because one day I'm going to read it and All Might's not going to be alive and that's going to kill me. That can't happen. But I know it's not going to happen. You heard it right here first, because I met the creator of the show. His name is Horikoshi Sensei. Super cool dude, does not actually like to be on camera or filmed at all. He like wears a mask in front of his face. This is pre-COVID. Super shy, but very cool. And I followed him like a creeper. We had a dinner one time, and I know that if you wait long enough, like for some reason in Japan, a lot of people still smoke. Don't smoke; it's terrible for you. But in Japan, some people still do it, and a lot of the creatives do there. So I figured, like, I bet she's a smoker. So when he left the table, I kind of like went outside and followed him out there. And I was like, "Hey, how's it going? All Might." Weird. I just came out here to stand here. That's so strange. And we were at the same time. I said, "I'll give you $50 if you don't kill All Might." Like I literally offered $50. I said, "Oh, I cannot take a deal." I'm like, "But look, you don't have to. But seriously, you don't have to kill him. And if you do, you can always use the Dragon Balls to wish him back, right?" We'll consider that. So, we'll see. Hopefully, he will think about the money that he could make from me. Anyway, so do you all have some questions? Because I would be happy to answer some. In fact, instead of having like people line up at the microphone, why don't we just like have you yell it or something like we used to back in the old days? Todoroki girl. Well, I get to play two versions of All Might. The big old beefy version of All Might and the All Might that girls like. I didn't realize that would be the case, but I've met so many ladies who have come up and like, "I love Weekend All Might." He's just so weak and frail. And he has to smile. And he's like got emotions and stuff. And he talks about his emotions sometimes, and he has secrets about how weak he is. It's something that girls like, let's see, if I could play another character, like when the show first came out, I was like, man, I really think that Bakugo would be a cool character to play, but also the worst character to play. And I think that, well, okay, Mineta has the worst role, but in terms of vocal health, the Bakugo is the worst role because it's like another Vegeta role. Everything he says is out of screaming volume. I would not wish that upon my worst enemy. And Clifford Chapin is not my worst enemy. He's just a glutton for punishment. I have a story about Clifford. I met Clifford Chapin at the studio before he was a voice actor at Funimation, and I own a recording studio in Dallas, and I have one in Los Angeles, but the recording studio in Dallas, we were celebrating the first day of not having anything to do. Like we have never had a day where we weren't recording something, and for whatever reason, on this one day, we didn't have any sessions. So we played this Flaming Lips album that you have to play on like multiple systems at the same time, and you have to start it all at the same time. It's a weird album. And we were just, everything was super loud in the studio. We were all like kind of cleaning up our workstations and stuff. And I got a call from a client, like a big client. I was like, oh crap, it's really loud in here, hold on, I will go outside and talk to you. And I opened the door, and Clifford was standing there with a CD in his hand. And he looked like he had just been practicing what he was going to say when I opened the door, but I surprised him, I guess, by opening it first. He goes, like, hey, I'm so sorry. Like, he goes, I was gonna give you my demo. I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry. I am on the phone with the client, and it's really loud in there. I am so sorry. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Client, hold on 1 second. And then I run back and I'm like, hey, engineer, this guy was outside. Take his demo. Or whatever. And I kind of ran off. And I normally don't big time people like that. This was a client that I needed to talk to. And I never really got a chance to talk to him much, but after I got on the phone and we didn't have anything to do, I was like, hey, that kid, let's play his demo real quick. And we played it, and he was like, he's really good. We liked him. So we ended up calling him in and using him. It was just a really freak circumstance. And then I think that's how Clifford, kind of came into the Funimation family in a huge way. And I'm very glad that he's here, because he's super, super talented and very, very dedicated. Like he's perfect for Bakugo, because he's a very intense individual. Like he takes everything very seriously. All right. Wow, more questions. I'm gonna get to you in a minute. Oh, whoa, that's an intense wave. What? What's my favorite Netflix series? I'm gonna think about what streaming services I like certain things on. This isn't like my favorite series on Netflix, but I'm going to mention it anyway because many people haven't heard of it. It is a German Netflix series called Dark. Have you guys ever seen it? And what's weird is don't hate me, but I am, when it comes to live action, kind of a subs over dubs kind of guy. I usually like to watch subtitles when I'm watching a film, because it's only an hour and a half worth of time. And I can be focused for at least that long, but a long series, I like to be able to be on my computer and stuff like that and do other things. So I watched Dark's dub, which I thought was really good. And it is the craziest series. You all should check it out, because it's wild. I hesitated watching it because I thought it was going to be some horror series or something. That's actually like this weird series about like alternate universes and time travel and stuff like that. And I would highly recommend it. And the dub is actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. It takes a minute to get used to, but once you do, it's like awesome. Maybe kind of like what you guys do for us. So thank you. Yes, the person who makes the stand-up real quick. She made this jacket, by the way. Look at this jacket. She made it all my points. She showed me earlier, and it is so freaking cool. Look at this. You have to turn around because most people are like that. Sorry, now that I've embarrassed you fully. Sure, she's asking about like she's heard, like this is the first time hearing of this, but so I'm not a source for this, but apparently you've heard that there might be a My Hero Academia live action series. Is that true? Can this room confirm that? Like, okay, I see some people. All I'm hearing is mumbling from behind masks, which sounds kind of like some people know some things, so there might be something or might not be something happening. I don't know, man. I have a really hard time with adaptations of anime for some reason. Marvel seemed to do it, I know it's not anime, don't yell at me. But the superhero genre kind of worked in that way, but I have a really hard time stomaching like I saw an image of, for instance, the One Piece animated series, and it's just too shocking for me to look at. Like I'm so used to the characters the way I'm used to seeing them. I'm not saying like I have no idea how I feel about the One Piece live action thing, but I don't know, man. I don't know. People always wanted a live action Dragon Ball Z movie, and they got one of those. Needless to say, people didn't like it so much. However, I always tell people, like, if you want to see the live action Dragon Ball Z movie, you should watch a Chinese film called Kung Fu Hustle. That's Dragon Ball Z right there. That's amazing. But I'd love to see, and you know, I like that anime has become such an important thing, such a big thing, and all part of it, that people are attempting to do really cool mainstream stuff with it. So whether, like, if the first one doesn't work, fine, but eventually somebody's gonna pick it up and they'll try it again. And it's kind of rad that we're all here during this time when anime is so big. I promise I'll get back to you, so I'll answer your question. Yeah. It could be a general Chris Sabat question if you want.
So, this one, I guess you probably never been asked before, but do you know the very amazing voice actor, DJ Sexillionaire?
DJ Sexillionaire. I have heard rumors that this amazing voice actor exists. You see him occasionally pop up on weird titles that actors wouldn't want to put their names on and stuff like that. But I heard that he's a French DJ from France that does like remixes and stuff in his spare time and does these things called like laptop death matches or something, where they compete against, like, someone on their laptop is making music and competing with somebody else on their laptop to make cool things. But other than the rumors and like the things that people told me about him, I've never formally met the guy. But yes, you.